seems to be doing so well enough there. More managers than Eric Ten Hag had their issues with Jadon Sancho. He has not performed since his arrival at Old Trafford. So something had to be done. And while, yes, you take an almighty loss, albeit he's gone to Dortmund on loan, on a player like Jadon Sancho, it wasn't working out. So you have to, given the managers that came before, I have no reason to suggest that it's going to turn around for Jadon Sancho at Manchester United. So you have to figure out how to get him out. But he costs a lot of money. He's on an incredible wage, which nobody will pick up. So Manchester United are kind of on a lose-lose with Jadon Sancho. Marcus Rashford is slightly different. Given what we saw from Rashford back end of last season, given what we've seen with some consistency in the England national team, I think there'll be more clubs willing to take a chance on Marcus Rashford. Of course, a player who's come through their academy, so they aren't lumbered with that transfer fee as well in trying to move him on. So we will see. But and why, again, I'm reluctant to go one way or the other firmly with Jadon Sancho is because October, November of 2022, I said Marcus Rashford had to go. He was linked with PSG, I think, at the time, and I thought that was the best thing for both Rashford and Manchester United. And then all of a sudden, the World Cup 2022, and all of a sudden, post-World Cup 2022, and Marcus Rashford was just simply incredible. And without him, they wouldn't finish top four. I don't think that's beyond debate. So I'm a little bit reluctant to go that harsh again because, as he's shown, sometimes all of a sudden things turn. Maybe kind of given the resurgence and this form and maybe some confidence, Marcus Rashford turns it around again. No real science to say that, but I'm just not. I'm hedging my bets this time around.
From your experience, when you have these kind of management takeovers, and obviously Jim Ratcliffe is a very successful businessman, we know he comes in with intentions to get this club back to where they expect to be, but they need money to maybe go out and make some moves. The financial fair play rules and other financial pieces are in play here. And you mentioned Rashford being a homegrown talent. Does that make him more likely? Would you be willing? Would you think they may sell him given his situation?
Well, it's all profit. It's all net profit if Marcus Rashford moves on. And while Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in and there's a new injection of cash, you saw last summer Manchester United were a little bit hamstrung in how much they could spend because of that, because of the financial fair play rules. So whether Manchester United feel the need to kind of cash in on Marcus Rashford in an effort to be able to spend to continue to compete, because I'm not sure how long Manchester United are just kind of happy or settle for being in a top four discussion as opposed to a top three discussion, because again, as of right now, I don't see them breaking into that top three. That's for them to decide, I guess. I just don't see it. So maybe the sensible thing is to bring in all that profit and then spend to bolster your squad in a way that the club needs. And of course, that spending can be spread out over the next few years, which all keeps within financial fair play.
It's such a huge time because you mentioned, like, you got to recruit these players, though, they want to compete. To be in the Champions League is the huge carrot with the stick situation. So that they do need these results, and they do still compare themselves to the top three teams in this league, and they still go away to City. They have Arsenal and Liverpool come to Old Trafford. So how those games fare may actually have a reflection on Ten Hag, as we said, long term, and if he is the guy or not. They did bring in a goalkeeper, obviously, Andre Onana, who had some really tough games and moments early on in his campaign. He's tied for third in the Premier League in clean sheets. He's had some better showings. Or do you believe that the guy at the back is the right person for him?
Listen, I think Onana is an incredibly talented goalkeeper. I felt so all along. I thought he got off on the wrong foot in terms of, and we've had this discussion. I feel that I got the impression that Ten Hag says to Onana, I needed to be the leader. I needed to take charge back there. And that became his primary focus, as opposed to just figuring out his own role within the team, be just settling into the position of being Manchester United's number one. Once you get your feet settled, once you're able to establish your own presence within that goal, then you can start to marshal your back four and do some of those other things that goalkeepers at that club needed to do. I just felt he got the horse before the cart in that respect, and it seems to be settling back down now. But again, like so much about Manchester United, you're a little bit reluctant to be too enthused about it, because while results have been good, performances haven't. And while the old cliche is, yes, good teams have to know how to win ugly, that's the exception, not the rule. And with Manchester United, I just haven't seen enough good. We've got good results, but nowhere near enough good performances consistently.
I'm right there with you. Look at the odds right now for them to get into the top 4. They're 3.5 to 1, and I just don't think they're going to have enough performances requisite to be there. In the upcoming schedule, they have Fulham at home, which should be a winnable game, but then you go on the road to City,